everyone, and welcome to my broadcast today. First, I hope everyone had an amazing Memorial weekend. I'd like to start by thanking all the brave men and women who do serve our country today or have served our country, because it's because of these people that we enjoy the freedoms that we do every single day. So God bless and thank you for all you do. Today we're going to talk about our four-step business plan. Now, you may already have a copy. If you don't have a copy, all you have to do is go to your branch leader. They can give you one hard copy or they can give you one digitally. Most importantly today, I know you can read it yourself. I want you to understand the essence of the message and really how the four-step business plan is set up so it can really help move your business forward. And as always, we have to start off with our mindset. Now, we're in a very challenging and interesting time dealing with the coronavirus. However, even though it's an event we would not have chosen, we are having to deal with it. So the reality of this is we have to be honest with ourselves that fear, which is a very strong emotion, we have to deal with. And we have to be honest with ourselves about it. So once you own it, because we all have different levels of fear, okay, once you own it, okay, you can have a much more effective way of managing yourself through this. Because if fear is not kept in check, it can paralyze you and stop you from really doing anything. Okay, so that's number one. So what are some of the things that we can do what's the solution to help manage through this? Well, number one is you have to get clear on who you are. I know that sounds like a weird question, but who are you? Okay. Secondly, what do you want? And I really want you to tie that second question in on what do you want? What truly inspires you? You know, we talk about understanding our why, something that needs to be big enough, and that is very true. But the key is that what inspires you? What gets you up every morning? And last, but certainly not least, what price are you willing to pay? Because if you're not clear on the price, okay, of what you're willing to pay, that could be time, it could be money, it could be effort, whatever the case may be, is guess what? You may not really understand the commitment that your mouth is setting out there for you, but you're really not willing to do it. So you got to get clear on those areas. Now, for me, and I can only talk for myself right now, what goes through my mind when I think about what I want? Well, I want to be safe. I want to live a passionate and fulfilled life. And I want to be victorious in whatever I put my mind to. Well, that now comes into play. If I'm going to be passionate and fulfilled, I'm going to be victorious, and I'm going to stay safe, there's a lot of aspects. It's not as simple as doing one thing and that's all. So we've got to keep that in mind, that there's a lot of aspects going on all at the same time. But as long as you're focused on really what you're trying to accomplish and what you want, it's amazing how that will help you make positive decisions. Last but not least, that will help you is be clear on the goals, which ties into what you want, and have fun with creating targets for yourself. Shorter term goals can be longer, let's say for the year or the remaining year, but targets can be really short term. I want to get this done today. I want to get this done for the week. Play with yourself and have some fun making short-term targets that basically support your overall goals. All right, let's get right in to the 4 steps. What's step 1? Create a daily revenue foundation, which what we call daily revenue commitment, our DRC. Now, I want to give you some thought processes around the DRC. One is choose a proactive activity that you like to do. Could be more than one, but that you really enjoy doing of how you generate the business. And make sure it matches your personality. You're not supposed to be anybody else. You're supposed to be the best you can be. Next, remember less is more. Do not overcommit. I want you to undercommit and make sure you follow through on every commitment that you make. Do not place expectations on your daily activities. Okay, I'm going to go out today and I'm expecting X to happen. Don't do that. What you really have to do is enjoy the process, enjoy your journey, and go through it each and every day. Don't put those expectations because all you're doing is setting yourself up for disappointment. When you're really all about the journey, well, guess what? It was a great day, no matter what the exact result was for that day. Remember this: consistency and stickability can be more important than ability. Now, don't take me wrong. I want you to, of course, work on ability. But without consistency and without stickability, you can be the best at something. If you're not actually doing it or doing it often enough, it does not serve you well. And last but not least on this point is when you're talking about your DRC, please don't argue with the truth. Okay, sometimes we get stuck in our heads and we create all this thought process around it may be your truth, which ties back into that fear. Remember, if you let fear control you, it will become a resistance to your success. And it can try and block you and defeat you in your overall goals. All right, so never argue with the truth. All right, keep in mind that every time you argue with the truth, you're going to lose 100% of the time. So it is what it is. You might have to zig or zag to keep moving forward. All right, so you've got your daily revenue commitment around what you enjoy to do, and you've committed to it in a way that you will consistently do it each and every day. That's step one. All right, a lot more information when you read it through to help you, but in short, that is step one. Step two, administrative and operations. I'm going to tell you right now, in short, you will have help at some time in the future with administrative and operations, and that's okay. At first, maybe when you start off, you're doing some of that stuff yourself, but here's the reality of that will support your business growth and your success is you have to backfill your weaknesses and personally focus on your strengths. All right, and eventually, maybe it's not a direct weakness, but it's not closest to the dollar activities. So I want you to think about this. Part of this step two of the process is getting somebody to help you do the things that aren't closest to the dollar or truthfully that you're no good at anyways. And if I had to hire someone to do it, I wouldn't choose you. I'd want someone else to do it. Why? So you can spend more time on the closest to the dollar activities and supporting your DRC each and every day. All right. Now, in doing this, you're going to have to hire somebody. It may be someone part-time. It may be someone on just a project basis, and maybe a full-time person. Either way, you've got to take somebody through an interview and figure out what you need and who's the best one to provide it. I want to recommend a book to you. It's called The Who. Okay, just WHO. And the authors are Jeff Smart and Randy Street. It's a phenomenal book. Okay, you can even listen to it on Audible. All right, so if you're not a reader, more comfortable listening to it audibly, no problem, go for it. It gives you some really make sense ways to say, how can I interview more effectively? And what questions and what steps do I have to do to make sure I'm hiring the right person, putting the right person in the right seat on the bus, which, by the way, most realtors we're not great at. Most salespeople are not great at interviewing. So this book will really be a big help to you. All right. That's really what step two is all about. Understanding that you're going to need administrative staff to help you. Now, I know some of you might be thinking, well, I can't afford it. Not true. But Mark, no, not true. Well, you haven't seen my checking account. It's true, Mark. No, it's not true. Okay? Laugh, laugh, laugh. Here's why it's not true. Most people who have a challenge with affording anything have never actually committed to, in my situation, the 4-step business plan to step one. If you don't have a daily revenue commitment that you're consistent doing each and every day, of course you can't afford it. But I promise you, in the short run, if you are consistently committed to a DRC, daily revenue commitment, you will be able to afford it. It's when you're skipping your DRC that affordability issues come into play, and they will every time. So be true to your DRC, and in a much shorter time than you think, you'll be able to afford the things that support your growth and the success of your business. Let's go to number three. Step number three in the plan is asset building and enhancements. This section is all about your intent to collect and share relevant, meaningful, and unique information about your past clients, about your sphere, about your farms that you work. You're looking to create information that is not easily found with social media or not. Yeah, you can get some general information, but if you really want to learn about me, you and I have to communicate effectively. And that's part of number three. You understanding that I am effectively communicating with people. In fact, one of the goals in step three is learning one new thing about every single person that you connect with, specifically the ones in your sphere, past clients, and farms. This way, you're always adding relevant information. You know what's exciting about this is one, your DRC is all about connecting with those people so you can learn. But our VAC 2.0 is spectacular in helping support number three. And that is taking this hyperlocal opportunity operationally to share and collect information from these individuals that you have a relationship with. It strengthens the relationship. It's relevant information that they want. It's hyper local, okay, that they want. Our VAC 2.0, and I know I'm a broken record on this and I will continue to be, is the most client centric, the most agent centric, and the most business centric system you will ever work with. Yes, I'm putting myself out there. I know we have trainings going on right now, not in all the markets. We're going to go live in all our markets at the end of June, but training has begun in markets. If you don't have it yet, please feel free to get with your branch leader and they will give you dates of when the training is coming. But I'm telling you, I'll even go out on a ledge to say this. If you're in the real estate business, you cannot support working with the VAC 2.0. That's how powerful it will be to support your clients and support you gathering necessary information as well as interacting with your clients in such a valuable format. The bottom line is they want you to interact with. Wasn't your idea. We're interacting with the way that they want. That's why it's so hyper local and client centric. All right. All that ties into effective communication. That's what step three is all about. So let's move to step four. Step four is called exit strategy, personal wealth, and growth. And that personal wealth and growth is in all of its forms. All right, but let's start off with exit strategy. You know, this one really tends to elude many people in our industry, and I don't know why. If I said to you today, I said, you know what, I want to invest in real estate with you. Here's going to be the deal. And by the way, I've asked this question of many people, and the answer is always the same. And I'll share that with you in a second. Okay, so we're going to invest in real estate. For every property that we find, whatever the down payment is, we're going to split it. So if it's $10,000, you're going to put $5,000 down. I'm going to put $5,000 down. Let's say for this example, we're going to rent out that property. Well, after expenses, whatever revenue, whatever dollars is left over, we're going to split it evenly. You get your half and I get my half. However, when we sell the property, let's say we have a 10-year commitment to hold it. When we sell the property, I get 100% of all the equity in that asset. Now, every time I've asked someone to do that with me, I've gotten 100% no. That makes no sense to me. I agree. So if that makes no sense to you, then think about this. How do so many agents understand when they're working in real estate, they're building cash flow? That's that rent that comes in from all their efforts. But guess what? When they're ready to retire, or let's say they have to relocate or whatever, they don't get it that they've built an asset here that they can actually sell. And by the way, asking for a few referrals, hey, if these people who don't know you, that have no relationship with you, I'm going to give you their names. If they ever buy or sell, can I have a referral? That isn't building an asset. That is limping away and throwing the asset away, which, by the way, I gave you a great example, and no one's willing to take me up on it. That's because it makes no sense to do. Well, it makes no sense in your business either. So step four is understanding that you're actually building an asset. And in building an asset, you have the responsibility to treat it as such. And in doing so, you put things within your business that increase the value of your asset. What are some of those things? Well, how about your processes, your systems, your procedures? All these add to who you are and what you do and what your business does on a day-to-day basis. Of course, it includes your profit, okay, and your database. Absolutely, it includes that. And we have a very strategic way to help transition that asset to somebody else that helps maximize what you're trying to sell the business. We do 3 or 4 of these a year. So in that understanding, it may not be happening for 20 years. It doesn't matter, because here's the secret sauce in an exit strategy. When you properly set up your asset, your business, your real estate business to be sold like an asset, it increases your income now in the short run. So you build more revenue because you've properly set up your company for the long run. Look, an exit strategy is a must for every business, and I don't care if you're 30 years out to exit. It's not the point. Truthfully, of course, when you are ready to exit, it certainly helps. In fact, it will make your asset a powerhouse to be able to transition and sell to some other sales executive. But the reality of it is don't forget, it also, a properly set up exit strategy earns income more today as well. And last but not least, personal wealth and growth has to be part of your overall strategy. That says while you're sleeping, you are building wealth. Okay, you've got your money working for you, and that's part of that exit strategy plan of attack that we discuss. All right, I know I've covered a lot here, and you may have a lot of questions, which I will open it up for any questions if you do have. I don't know. I know we've had some technical issues today, so we may not have any questions today. If we don't, I promise you I will get those questions and I will answer those at a later date. All right, then let me sum up this today. 4-step business plan is a plan that works for you on the street. It is an effective way to work in the real estate business. It is not a conjecture that I said this could be a good idea. This works the way you work, just like our VAC 2.0. What makes it powerful is it took into account the way the agent actually works, what the client actually wants, and puts those together. That's what this 4-step business plan does for you. It looks at how you actually work on a day-to-day basis, what actually makes you successful, and it put it together in a system. I look forward to helping you with any of your questions so we can take the 4-step business plan and make sure we place it in your business and you can use it each and every day. Have a great week, everybody, and we'll talk to you next week.